Oh, Almighty Father, Papa, now you love me so, and you know my name. I give you glory, Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. You know my name more than the air. You know me, you know my name. I can see your hand in my life. Lord, I see your love upon me. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I turn around, now you are the view.
You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Amberzonia. Stay tuned. You're watching the People's Television, ABC Amber TV, the voice of Amberzonia.
Don't you hate it when that happens to you? When it does, you need this and this and this. When it happens to me, I always know where to go. When you've got professionals on your side, your problems don't stand a chance. What are you waiting for? Contact them today and let them take care of your problems.
Oh, Almighty Father, Papa, now you love me so, and you know my name. I give you glory, Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. You know my name more than the air. You know me, you know my name. I can see your hand in my life. Lord, I see your love upon me. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I turn around, now you are the view. I dey hear your voice in my heart. Lord, I feel your love over me. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I turn around, now you are the pillow. Abba Father, you know my name. Papa, you know me. Yeah. You know me. You know my name. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yeah, yeah. Yelele, yelele, yelele. Jesus, your love, now oh. My master, your kindness, now wonder oh. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I turn around, now you are the view. Jesus, you said I be a picking, no. Jesus, you said your love go cover me. Every time I look around, now you are the see. Every time I look around, now you are the pillow.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Reverend Sama. Whenever I listen to this, I go back to see our Father in the home front and in the land of Ambazonia. Greetings to the people of Ambazonia at home and abroad. It is exactly 4 minutes after the hour of 5 p.m. in Ambazonia and 4 p.m. in Boya. And I welcome all of you to this program today, Our History. Remember, we are dealing with the month of May. And I told you this month of May is very, very significant. Before I go ahead, I just want to tell all the defense men and women on home front, visible and invisible, in the sense that there are some of them who are strictly undercover and they are in between La Republic to give us intelligence. I want to give all of you 63 gun salutes. Yes, I've tripled the 21 gun salute and I've given 63. So divide it to all of you who are doing the work that we're supposed to do to get back to hometown. As a historian, I told you my major purpose here is to let you know where we are and what we are right now. I'm going to make a statement that will shock a number of people, but I will explain why I make that statement. And this is not a joke, it's not a lie, it's not a camouflage. I will not say it's not politics, because politics is not dirty. The people who play the politics are the people that are dirty, but politics is correct. So I'm not going to say that this is not politics. This is politics, but politics is a very good game that is meant for good people. But bad people came in, took over, perverted it, and gave it a very bad and wrong connotation. So I'm here to tell the Ambazonian people one thing, that I am really, really serious about it, because I have read history and I have come to discover that this particular phrase I'm going to make now has helped us in our history. And what is that? I want to tell the Ambazonian people that I thank Mr. Paul Biya so much. And I've been praying that he should not die without seeing us getting into our land. Why do I say that? And people are raising an eyebrow. Same as a historian. Are you sure you are not a La Republique? Are you sure you are not compromised? Oh no, let me repeat myself. I thank Mr. Paul Biya immensely for whosoever used him, whether demons or God, to make us to be at this position in which we are today. We would have still been grouping in darkness. But this man, from wherever he came, has made us to know our history by resisting us, by doing all that he has done, which if he had just accepted, granted the request of our people, I am telling you, would have still been in a dilemma. But his heart was so hardened, so that the manifestation of the history that I'm reading, I can share it with you today without mixing words. So once again, I thank Paul Biya for resisting the quest of the Ambazonian people in the sham federation nonsense that they talked about, and also in the quagmire of what they call unification and all that trash. I thank him so much, because he has made us to open our eyes to our history. And who is that individual who will not want to know his history? That is why we thank the head of state. We thank the head of state. Oh boy, as a historian, I want to let you know that Abai Father, who knows the name of Ambazonia, has absolutely made it so clear that Ambazonians should know where they are coming from, so that those who are cockroaches and rats and the chickens in the house can be made manifest. And I told Ambazonians that in these present current events that are taking place, the Ambazonian people are creating and making history. And I told you to do everything not to be on the negative side of history, but to jump in and be on the positive side of history. Yes. Now, the positive side of history is that La République had hidden who we were for so long a time, and only after the resistance of the changes that were required in the judiciary and required in the educational system that brought us to where we are today. And because of this particular resistance from Paul Biya, we have dug out our history to make Ambazonians to know that they have never and will never be a part and parcel of La République du Cameroon in every ramification. Oh yes, in every aspect, La République and of course, and Ambazonia will never be a part and parcel of La République. This has been proven very clearly to us, and we see it. That is, have been proven very clearly that we can never be part and parcel of La République. And today, we are telling the history. That is why I told you that as far as I am concerned, I am very, very happy. And I want to thank once again the head of state, La République du Cameroon, Paul Biya, for resisting us so that we can learn our history. And guess what? This brings me to the history book that I'm reading, which says that all things work together for good. Did you hear that? It says all things, not some things. All things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to God's purpose. And if you say you love God, and if you say you are called according to God's people, I think you will agree with me that this fellow has made Ambazonians to now come to know their history. There is a historian who would have been with me in the studios, and I'm still asking the Ambazonians who can share the history of our land to our people, because there are so many people out there who can share the history of Ambazonia, but unfortunately, many of them are not coming on board. But if you are an Ambazonian and you know and you have some history, like I'm saying, there is a man who was to be with me in the studios today. He actually was talking and working with Foncha, and he is an Ambazonian. But unfortunately, he is at work right now. But we shall find time to bring him on the air or make sure that he tells Ambazonians part of the history. And so, because of that, Ambazonians who now are hearing and understanding their history, they should be very much happy that at least their history is being made known to them. That was hidden. You know, we used to celebrate 20th May with pomp and pageantry, but you saw the sham that took place a few days ago because the year of Jubilee has come. And with that year came, La République immediately understood that these people, they are serious with whatever decisions they have taken. They are gone. And we demonstrated it on that 20th. Fellow Ambazonians, that is the history that is in the making and that we are going ahead. Now, today, our history is very pregnant with current events that are gradually turning into history. And when these current events, like I told you yesterday, that I will be finding out, and once I find out, I will come to you with what I have found out concerning our history to put it straight. Because this interim government, with its president, Dr. Samuel Sako Ekome, and the Secretary of State for Communications, Dr. Martin Mungwa, has a duty to tell the Ambazonian people the truth and nothing but the truth. Because any country and any government that is built on lies, they will expire. But the truth can never expire. And that is why we have taken upon ourselves to debunk any lie that is coming from the social media. And it has been my singular pleasure to let the Ambazonian people know that no government of the world is run on social media. This is not just a social media. This is the government spokes medium. So if you want to hear anything about Ambazonia correctly and truly, come into ABC. Now, all other proxies, whatever names you call them, they are not for the interim government. And when you go there, you will hear trash that is changing every day. Can you imagine a government that say A today and tomorrow they will not say B, they will go to F, and after F they will not go to G or H, they will go to Z, and then the following day, instead of going now to the following the systematic alphabetical order of rendering things, they jumble here, they come out, they jump here, they come out, and it spread lies, and people believe the lies. But if you listen yesterday, as I did attentively, to the Secretary of State for Communications for the interim government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, under the auspices of his CIC, Commander-in-Chief, Dr. Samuel Sakoe Kome, you will hear how he protocolly, line by line, word by word, outline some of the speculations that you have already heard, fictitious and negative side of it, on the social media. I was listening to him articulate, and I heard him say, there is never a positive without a negative, or else it will just have a kind of a name. I don't know whether neutral will fit it very well. So once there is a positive, there is a neutral. And that the interim government is pushing to go to Boya, and then another faction of disgruntled coup plotters came in, took this very name, and they are trying to run with it, ran their mouth of what they did not actually contribute to building this interim government. They round their mouth and say that we have taken all their money, we have taken the treasury, we have taken ABC, we have taken the interim government. They have gone with a name. But yesterday, which is what I'm going to play you a clip, and when you listen to that clip, I will come back to you to tell you where Ambazonia is standing, referring back to the history of Ambazonia. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so very much excited to let you know that Ambazonia has come in and will never in any way go back for a minute. No, we have come in, we have gone, and we have gone. And we are going. Why are we going? We are going because the year of Jubilee for our going is come. We are going because him who has made it possible for us to actually and completely know who we are and where we are, he has spoken. And because he has spoken, I want to let you know that Ambazonia is gone. Hallelujah. Ambazonia is gone. If you see me come out in the regalia of which I am today, it is a clear indication to you that every enabler working with La Republique du Cameroon has failed, because the lies that they have been mounting, I heard some people say, how do you think that they will put somebody as called in their Njangi house after they have stolen our name? They say president, and they say you have 4 months. After 4 months, what next? What next? You see, people who like to be ruled by Tumbu, Bash Calabash, that's a deep tongue back in my country, Ambazonia. We are diverse. We are very, very diverse. And as I told you sometimes, I was talking to a group of people yesterday, and I told them that the headquarters of the cradle of God's creation is in Africa. And I think that Ambazonia happens to be one of the nuclear centers, because the number of languages that they speak in Ambazonia is indicative of what happened at the Tower of Babel when the languages were confused. Many people could not travel far, so they decided to hang around in the peripherals so that they can be still custodians of the land that they thought they could protect by disobeying divine orders. All right, that's another topic of its own. But today, talking about the events of 20th May, I want to just go straight ahead and let Ambazonians know that the SOS for communication, Dr. Mungwa, said something yesterday, and it is very, very consistent with what he has been saying and what some of us have been saying. There are some certain things I reserve from not commenting until I have heard from him, because as far as communication is concerned, he is the boss for the interim government at this particular moment. Any other person that tells you any story and mentions interim government is falsification, is fake, is not your interim government. Some of them are people that have stood up against the interim government and against people contributing to support our violent fighters on the ground so that they can become, tired and then hand over to La Republic. But some of them today, they are claiming that they are interim government after having dissuaded and told Ambazonians not to contribute into the Ambazonian Foundation, into the ABC Foundation, into the Southern Cameroon Foundation, which are organizations that are out to support the struggle for our freedom and to, of course, alleviate the humanitarian disaster that the wicked, demonic, terrorist regime of La Republique, if I may have all the adjective to describe that no-nonsense country, I would have said it. But then people who come into Ambazonia to dissuade people, pretending that they are going to Ambazonia, yet taking their guns against Ambazonia, yet taking their words against Ambazonia, yet fighting against the resources that are to support us get into our land, just like La Republique did when they invaded us subtly in 1961. Gradually, they make sure that they dealt away with our economy. Because once people are economically paralyzed, they don't even have a voice to talk. And that is what some of these very unscrupulous fellows who are still claiming to be Ambazonians, are still claiming to be standing with the interim government, are doing to deceive you. My brothers and sisters, fellow Ambazonians, as a historian, I give you a warning. Please be very careful what you hear. Be very careful what you hear. I have read that in the history book. That is the original history book that I've been reading. I've been reading history book for more than 40 years, and I'm still reading it. It says that be careful what you hear. And secondly, it says be careful how you hear. So what you hear and how you hear, it's very, very important. Because if you are not careful what you hear and how you hear, I am telling you, you'll be swept off your feet. It doesn't matter if you are as strong as Samson. Delilah will take you off immediately. Oh yes, because it has happened in history. So Ambazonians are people who are not so stupid. We are learning from history. Yes, we are learning from history. I want you to share this link to so many Ambazonian people, because I see that people perish for lack of knowledge of who they are and where they are coming from. So Ambazonian people, please, as soon as you get this link, pass it across to your next door neighbor so that they can actually know that we are very, very serious with what we are saying. And we will not condone for a minute any person, anyone, be him they call elite or whatever. We will not condone with such people who will not want you to hear our history. Now, when I said that, I thank Paul Biya for resisting us so that we can now know our history. One of his supporters, the first person that came on the chat room was his supporter. He came and wrote rubbish. You see, this is what we are talking about. When you are ignorant and you are a slave and deliverance comes, have you ever untied a sheep? Untie a sheep and just leave it where it is. It will still be turning around the peripherals of where the rope ended him. That is how many people want to be. But no, we are in the 21st century. No, and we are evolving. We are developing. La Republique cannot no longer hold us ransom in their lies. No, they cannot. Now, let me go straight to the clip. I want you to listen. When you listen to this clip, then I will come back to you and unfold a number of things to you. I'm going to play it 2 times for your perusal so that you can listen to it and listen very, very well. Now, listen.
That if you want to, in a sense, eliminate corruption in a society, and we all want to eliminate corruption in a society, the most effective way to do it is to make sure you don't punish people at the bottom, you punish people at the top. I'll tell you one story. In the 1960s, when Singapore was a very poor country then, our per capita income was 500. A government minister was invited by a businessman to go on holiday. Just a holiday, no bride. He and his family went on holiday with a businessman. He came back, he was arrested, charged, went to jail. After that, no more corruption. Because it's a very powerful signal that is sent when you go after someone at the top. So Singapore's experience, and it's actually quite remarkable how you have almost zero corruption in Singapore, is because we decided that the example must come from the top.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want you to listen and listen again very attentively what I am going to be telling you very shortly from this gentleman and the country. Listen to the country very well because I'm going to say something about that country. Listen again.
Long time. That if you want to, in a sense, eliminate corruption in a society, and we all want to eliminate corruption in a society, the most effective way to do it is to make sure you don't punish people at the bottom, you punish people at the top. I'll tell you one story. In the 1960s, when Singapore was a very poor country then, our per capita income was 500. A government minister was invited by a businessman to go on holiday. Just a holiday, no bride. He and his family went on holiday with a businessman. He came back, he was arrested, charged, went to jail. After that, no more corruption. Because it's a very powerful signal that is sent when you go after someone at the top. So Singapore's experience, and it's actually quite remarkable how you have almost zero corruption in Singapore, is because we decided that the example must come from the top.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We decided the example must come from the top. All right. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, people of Ambazonia. This is a man that is speaking from Singapore. In 1977, either Singapore or South Korea, the Cameroon government at that time, by Amadou Ahidjo, they supported this country because it was poor, either in seed or in seedlings of palms and other things like that. I cannot really say it all, but I'm going to verify and I'll come back here to correct it. So we supported these people because they were poor, 1977. And they have developed to a point that while they were in that perilous times, very dangerous and heavy times on them, they decided that those who are sitting in the corridors of power were not going to become richer and richer, and the poor become poorer and poorer. What did they do? They decided to fight corruption. There's one thing that he has mentioned there. Corruption is to be fought right from the top and not from the bottom. If you want to eradicate corruption, you start from the president, his ministers, and all the other people that are in the corridors of authority. Once you set an example on that, I'm telling you, you have begun setting pace for a complete deliverance for that particular nation. Why did I bring this here? I brought this here because Ambazonians have been deceived in the situation of these current events that are taking place in our land, where our history is being constructed. Now, during these current events, a lot of charlatans, some of them who don't know their left from their right, they suddenly get up and they become activists. And instead of doing their activism in our normal local language, they will try to do it in a language that they call English. And they will say, he did not did it. I say he did not did it. Wow. I thought it was a slip of the tongue, but he's emphasizing he did not do it. Why don't you say inobiduam, inobiduam? That's correct. And we know that you didn't go to school, and so we cannot blame you. It could be it's not your fault. But you try to talk in a language that you don't understand is appalling. And not only that, you don't even know what you are talking. Because some of you who are claiming to be activists, you don't know who Ahidjo was. And when we come to talk, you call us old men. I agree, we are old men. Old men supposed to teach the young men. But young men who have grown more than their old men are out for a doom. Oh yes, they will collapse. And the collapsing will be, it will be cataclysmic, it will be terrible. Nobody will be able to rescue you when you refuse to listen to old men. I'm talking about these young men who are running their mouth and talking what they cannot substantiate. And when they cannot have evidences, they go to fabricate because we are in a technological world. But listen, every lie has an expiring date. And everything that you say, one day you will give an account, either here to the people or to him who created you and kept you here for a purpose. If you choose another father from him who's supposed to be a father in truth, because I tell people that the devil got up, deceived a lot of people, and they followed him. When he showed them the sign of the coin that had nothing written on it, and when they followed him, he became their master. And at the front, they discovered that it was all lies. They were deceived, and it was too late. We are here as historians, beginning from my senior historian and the other ones that are ahead and those that are coming behind, to let you know that we are here just to advise you and instruct you and give you knowledge so that the history book will fulfill on you. Because my people perish for lack of knowledge, and when you are knowledgeable, you will not perish. There are a lot of things that are not shouted in the public, and there are some children that will not want to hear in the secret. But when we come in the public, and they have a public disgrace and public shame, although some of them are shame-proof, they have decided not to be ashamed. But if I'm the one, I will blush. Anyway, this man said they started from the top. And guess what? The interim government, over the past getting to 5 years, as the president took over from the president that restored under his government, our independence was restored. Talk about Ayutabe on the 1st of October 2017. When this president took over in 2018, after what happened that still remains like a mystery that has not been unlocked to them, though we know what it is, he changed the game by saying, like a man I know in history, the father died and he was called to take over to inherit the father's role of the people of that land. When he was called to inherit that land, he was asked 3 questions, or just a question. What do you want? in order to attain and to achieve this that we have taken over. The man said, please, these are a difficult people to go with. I don't want riches because riches will not control them. I don't want popularity because that will not be the key. I want nothing but wisdom. Give me wisdom how to manage these people, because there will be sheep and goats amongst them. And there will come a time when wolves will come amongst them. Not like wolves, because everybody will be attentive. They will come like sheep, but in wolf clothing. And when they come, there will be chaos and disaster. And it happened. It happened. Guess what? But the man had asked for wisdom, and God gave the wisdom. You understand? This wisdom is not given by man. All the fraternal societies, the Rosicrucians, the amok, and the belonging, and the devastation that the demons have caused in this life by trying to make everybody to be a liar, a cheat, and making good to be evil and evil good. They've appeared to make the interim president of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, Dr. Sako, to be belonging, either financially or in the metaphysical world, or in the what we call in their necromancy, and in their, meeting them in their Ouija board and reading the crystal ball and all those other, demonic things that people do in order to survive. He said, no, I've handed over to God Almighty, and God Almighty I will follow. But because we are here on earth and Satan does not sleep, and we started fighting our enemy, the very year 2021 that we made our intro and our roots into finishing the line, this very crook called Satan instigated, motivated, inspired, and sent some people to cause confusion, to draw us back. And everybody thought, like La Republic thought, that taking away the first organized government of Ambazonia in 2017 was going to end the show. But they were shocked. They were shocked-alized that it did not end there. And so also, in 2021, when these coup plotters, and many of them very fine intellectuals, men with, some of them with permanent head damage, came in, and they were about to torpedo the interim government. And when it happened, they went home rejoicing without catching even a bird, not to talk of the elephant. And they started making noise in the social media. And while the interim government was concentrating, trying to recalibrate in Washington, D.C., ASS2, these gentlemen were busy setting traps and doing what they are best at, because they have been properly trained by La Republique in fraud. That's what they were best at. They sat behind, changed the passwords, hijacked the website, tried to broke into the bank, went into the foundation, started doing things that they thought that they were in the Banana Republic. And of course, they thought that it had happened before. Nothing happened. What is going to happen this time if we do the same thing? Not knowing that the man who did not ask for riches, who did not ask for popularity, who said, Father, let me walk with thee. And he got a spokesman who acted exactly like what I read in what I'm reading in the history book. When the servant of God went to receive the commandments of God, this spokesman dissuaded the people, persuaded the people with his loud, sweet tongue of illusion with nothing there, and the people followed. And that caused a chaos when he came back to discover that these people have totally and completely gone out of the way. So the history is repeating itself in Ambazonia. When I told you that in God's book, Ambazonia is scripted right there, you can see the footages, very clear. That is Moses, he cannot talk. That is Aaron. He sat behind with the sister, they cooperated and plotted. Now come back to Ambazonia. You know the story. It's just current events that has turned into history. You don't even need to go repeating that. But I want to tell you that the Secretary of State for Communications for the interim government, Dr. Martin Mungwa, not any other person, please, please, please. If you want to know what is going on in our restored revolution and struggle that is going on now, get into ABC. You will know what is going on. But if you listen to any trash out there, very soon you will know it is trash. Because social media, I told you, they are proxies. When a government is about doing something or saying something founded, they go to their media. Then the associate medias will pick it up from there before they start speculating. But you see, the reverse is like the real thing to Ambazonians. But no, sir. Madam, no. Don't be deceived. We are standing on the truth. Like the proverb I've been singing to you. I want to repeat it. A snake has no house. So it either rolls up a tree or runs into a rat mouse hole or, just go anywhere. And so when you find these people running from one conference to another to listen to this person and listen to this one, and they come back home confused because they don't have a home. But guess what? A tortoise has home. He travels gradually, slowly, steadily, focused, and at the end of the day, he remains in his house. So if you say you are an Ambazonia, please get back to the house. Your LGA is there. Your county is there. If you have squams with your county or your LGA, you are an Ambazonian. Get into any of the LGAs of Ambazonia that you want to be adopted or you want to belong because it is your country. So get in there. And when you get in there, don't go there as a troublemaker, because we have seen so many of them who have disappeared from their counties. They were looked upon like bad eggs. They went in the other countries and they created a chaos that till tomorrow we are mending it, and we will mend it in the name of Jesus. Oh yes, we'll mend it. Now, before I conclude, I brought this man who talked about discipline that started on the top, and he gave an example of a government officer who visited a certain rich man on holiday. Not that the man gave him money, just went for a holiday, paid his ticket and paid his boat and paid his sleeping there and so on. He was accused of corruption, disciplined, and put in jail. And that ended corruption. Guess what? I am so excited that the interim government, who has learned over these few years, has not kept quiet. You just heard the Secretary of State, Dr. Martin Mungwa, read out a certain names of people who have been indicted. They have been served to report in the court land of where they are staying and give an account of their misdemeanors, their wrongdoings against the foundation of Ambazonia. But you see, to give the wrong narrative there to people who have itchy ears, they go out to accuse a man that they have been singing his name since he started, I think 2019, that's when his name came to the limelight. And in 2020, things turn around because devil will not want God to continue his plan of deliverance. So they resurrected. And when they resurrected, they came behind this man with a plan to devour, but didn't know that that dragon that came out to kill him, God has prepared a safe place for that dragon in the wilderness, and that dragon was going to be saved, and God saved the situation. Now, Jesus said, as a historian, we cannot finish our history without quoting Jesus. Jesus said, if I were betrayed by a Roman, by somebody who was not with me, it would have been different, but my acquaintance, somebody who is with me, a friend, is very painful. And that's what has been happening in Ambazonia. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it is history that is absolutely repeating itself in a form that people who don't know God may not even decipher, may not even have an iota of what on earth is happening like this. But the Secretary of State for the interim government, Dr. Mungwa, came out yesterday and he said it all clear that in all revolutions for independence and struggles, such people have come out. He did mention Chief Buthelezi of South Africa. He did mention, what is his name, of Zimbabwe. I've just forgotten that man's name. He mentioned that. So these are people who accepted that they should get freedom, but they team up with their oppressors, like what the coup plotters are doing. And of course, when they were going, they thought that they are still in La République, because La République can do anything funny and you go away with it. But unfortunately, they did not remember that their status have changed. Their status, they have changed. They are not only Ambazonians, because Ambazonians accept dual nationality. They are also Americans. And they think that while being in America and being Ambazonians, they can play the foul that they have learned from La République in Ambazonia by being in America. And they have been caught in the ticket. They will be shown the example of the law of the land, that if a foundation is created, even if you are the chief or the chief CEO of that foundation, there is a board, and you, the CEO of the foundation, you are answerable to the board. The board is the overall of that foundation. If you do anything funny, you'll be thrown out. La République did it and was doing it for their selfish aims. I remember the situation of Bonga and Tasha, who created the Amity Bank, and the game La République played with Bongam. And where is him today? Some of you who are from Ambazonia, and you know that name very well, you know where he is. He will never get into Ambazonian land. I mean, he will never. Because right now, he is wanted by La République, who is not even, he's not even a member of that country. But what he did in Ambazonia, if he gets in there, he will be judged too. That is the history that we have. Anyway, I brought this to tell you people that what Ambazonia is planning to be in future has started happening. The SOS for communication Dr. Mungwa read are 6 names that have already been served, and they are going to appear in the court of the land where this crime has been committed. Because a foundation, an NGO, does not belong to an individual. It belongs to a group of people. And if you are a member and your duties are relieved, you are relieved from your duties, or you are ousted for one reason or the other, you have no right. If there is anything you have to do, you have to go through the courts of the land to make sure that what you are doing is in line with the laws of that particular land where the foundation was created. And today, the noise that they have been making on their private social media that is meant to be for Africa, but the Africa the social media knows is Ambazonia, Dr. Sako, the interim government. That is all that the social media that is having the name of Africa was created for. I don't want to call the name on our government site here. I will take permission from the Secretary of State for Communication, Dr. Mungwa, before I can call such a name of such a media on our platform. Why am I saying so? Is because Ambazonia is a country that has been restored. Now, the restoration is not only the economy and other things, the moral and the fundamental duties of every Ambazonian, which was very, very ethical, the moral values are being restored, even though we are at war. The moral values are being restored. And because these moral values are being restored, a lot of Ambazonians who are ignorant, maybe they will learn, because they were saying, oh, this one did it the other time I went away. Oh, this one did it. I know some of their names. I won't mention them here. If I take permission, next time I will mention the names. So this one did it, and what happened? This one did it, and what happened? But up till now, nothing has happened. And I want to inform Ambazonians that in the current events that are presently taking place, definitely you, the Ambazonians, you are going to sooner than later know exactly what the law does. Because with that law, everybody will do what is pleasing in his sight. And you want to trample on others, want to blackmail, because if you can talk very well, you can blackmail others, right? And they will believe you, right? Yeah. But when the truth comes in and law comes in, you'll be regulated. That is why I like the way God created the world. I do not know where the idea of police and army came into existence. Because people who don't fear God, definitely they will fear the police. Definitely they will fear the court of the land. Definitely they will respect the constitution, because you don't fear God. So God is so omniscient that he knew the chaos we would have been having in our society today if he did not put some regulations in place and some laws for people to follow. We would have been in danger. We would have actually been living a life of the survival of the fittest. But today, we know that authority pass power, just like that's a deep tongue back in Ambazonia. Authority pass power, which means that if you are as strong as what, you can even be the Ike. Ike is a name that means power in a particular country in Africa. Even if you are Ike, once authority presents itself, and that authority is a 16-year-old boy or girl, I am telling you, Ike that is 49, getting to 50, and is a threat to everybody, will be brought down with standard attention, or else he'll be dealt with. Why? Because authority is more than power. Ambazonians, in our history today, I want to tell you that the interim government has started proceedings. And in the shortest while, God helping, all those who have been making noise, they'll be quiet. Because according to the Secretary of State for Communications, the crime is not only committed against the Ambazonian Foundation, it's committed against the land in which the foundation was created, and is committed against the laws of that particular land, even though the foundation is not for that land. It's for Ambazonia, but created in a land that does not belong to Ambazonia. And once you create a foundation or anything in the land for Ambazonia, you must respect two of the laws of that foundation and the laws of the land in which the foundation has been created. And guess what? I'm very sorry, but I often like to use this word, that some educated illiterates, please don't misquote me. I'm just saying that there are some people who are educated, but they act like illiterates, people who have never gone to school, in that they are focused on only one side. They don't check the pros and the cons. And because they feel that they are experts, doctorates, PhD in their area of in their area of a specialty, they feel that they know it all. I know of one man who was always boasting to me, oh, I am this, I know this, but sincerely, nobody knows it all. Nobody. That is why a president of any country must pipe down and listen to members of his cabinet, or else he'll be thrown overboard. Well, just want to announce to you that the process has started. 6 people have been indicted, and they are presently being served by the lawyers, and they will go to court. Now, announcements are going on to raise money to defend them, but then, okay, I wouldn't go into that. I want to give this chance. Yes, I want to give this chance. Let me see the few minutes that are left with me for anybody out there who has something to contribute to come in with that contribution. But let me quickly see that the phone number is put up there for you to send in, to call, or if you can just go to the chat room and send in your contribution in the chat room. We will be able to actually answer your question or share your opinion on our platform. So hand over to you right now. And while waiting for your calls, can I ask the technician, if you are there, to please put up the phone number on the screen? The phone number is +55. Technician, if you are there, the phone number is +55. All right, waiting for him. Let me read some comments here from some good Ambazonians who are listening, and they are telling us that the history is good till Boya, and then you are, yeah, we thank the head of state. That's good. Witchcraft of the 21st century. Remember, I said that we thank the head of state, and somebody commented here, yeah, that is witchcraft of the 21st century. Because every evil that Paul Biya did, some people came out to say we thank the head of state. And I said that all things work together. If he did not resist us, we would not have been talking this history that we are talking here. And so we do not actually thank him. It's a kind of ironic. It's very ironic what I'm saying. It's not really thanking him for thanking him, but at the same time, really thanking him for thanking him. You say, historian, what are you saying? That's what I'm saying. He has made us to know our history. So we go ahead to read some comments. All right. There are some La Republique people here who are commenting, and in the course of their commenting, we are unable, we cannot read such derogative comments from them, because we know that they are working for a master, and this master is the one that we actually went out to fight. And some of them who say they are Ambazonians, they have gone out there, and as they have gone out, they have joined La Republique in fighting the same land that they wanted to go in and possess. And so as they have joined La Republique and they are fighting the land, we are here to let you know that La Republique has failed. So let me go ahead and read some of the comments. Somebody write, good day, thank you very much. Another person say, coup plotters in addition to our own people who have decided to hate Ambazonia. Yeah, who have decided to hate these people. So they are saying that freedom is not real. Freedom is not. Let me take it over. Coup plotters, in addition to our own people who have decided to hate freedom, okay, a real problem, not even La Republique again. Because these house slaves and 21st century Munas must pay for their crimes in Boya. Thank God they continue failing in their attempts to do what? In their attempts to satisfy La Republique. Very good. So we see that there. Thank you very much for that comment, Fon. Then another person, okay, I'm watching from Dubai. Enablers working for La Republique know the history, but refuse to be on the part of justice. That's correct. A good number of these people, they know the history, but they refuse to be on the right side of history. And anybody who refuses to be on the right side of history, okay, good for you. Ambazonia is free. Come, thank you very much. This is a very positive statement that I agree with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ambazonia is free. Good. I like that very positive statement. House slaves headed by, sometimes I don't like to call this name, but because it's a comment for Ambazonians to hear, I'm going to read it. House slaves headed by Anu and stolen ABC console to open his Anu's broadcasting calamity. Wait, is the real problem dreaming to bring down our revolution? We will deal with them in Boya. It's ridiculous. It's what? It's really ridiculous and shameful with individuals like blinded people following cracks in the name of, wow. Please permit me. There are some of these things that I don't want to mention their names, but because I've read this through in the name of Kometa and Anu. All right. Now, another person write, we will hammer all the bad cocoyam. We will hammer all the bad cocoyam. Then he wrote a name there. I don't want to mention the name. I want to call the name. All right. Somebody said, thank you so much. You are doing a great job. God will see you through. Thank you, my beloved. God bless you. Keep up the good fight. We are fighting and we must fight to the end. Another person write, oh boy, this name again. Must pay for his crimes against Ambazonia. He say, historian, are you afraid to call names? No, I'm not afraid to call names. What happens is that I want to call names in a very positive way. People like people who have done their best for home front, to keep our people on the right footing. People like Dr. Tita. I would always like to mention his name, because this is a man that whatever happens, God uses anybody at any time. He was used to let the world and the people of Ambazonia know that there are some sincere and frank Ambazonians in this land, in this 21st century. Because they will give you such a high position where people will be calling you Mr. President. And I told you that there are presidents of Jangi houses. Some of them who are president of Jangi houses are not proud enough, although they have a slight privilege over others. But everybody would like to be called a president of a nation like Ambazonia. But he rejected and he refused. And he came home and said, I went in to see, and I wanted to see and hear, and this is my findings. Lies. He came on ABC and talked how he wanted to know all the lies that they have been talking about our president, Dr. Sako, and they could not produce evidence. They were all still in allegations until today. Allegations are still going on. So to build on allegation is a foundation that will sink. And that is exactly what La Republique does, allegations. But Ambazonia, we are getting back home. We started it. I'm sure that Ahidjo was influenced in 1977 by the way Ambazonians behaved for him to give what he gave to the one of the countries in South Korea. Now, another person writes, they must answer for their misdemeanors. Okay, misdemeanors. That's good. Somebody say, Pastor, thank you for the great work you are doing. Oh, sister, we thank God. That is God. That is God. I'm not supposed to say, hey, I love what Mr. Sako did during this time on power. I just want him to go for whatever this is. I love what Mr. Sako did during this time on power. Very good. Yeah, thank you very much for that comment. I won't read the other derogative. I think this, these La Republicans, they think that they can play the first one on us as demons, They will come and say something, and then at the end of the day, all right, another person writes, La Republic has failed. thank God to continue to bless our revolution leader, Dr. Sako. Another person says, all right, who are you? Go to La Republique and preach the garbage there. Very good. Ambazonian news every day makes me happy. Thank you very much, Chapak. God bless you. Watching from Bali, Mr. Tita is. We in Bali rejected black legs and coup plotters. Thank you, Mr. Amber. Another person right. The only good thing La Republique has done is to push Ambazonian citizens outside in every corner of the world where we have gathered enough and enormous knowledge and what we are sharing right now with you. Very good. So we thank the head of state. we are bringing home, or we are gathering, that's correct, out here to fight them and get our country back. Definitely. So whatever we are gathering here, we are gathering it to fight La Republique and get our country to where it's supposed to be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our program for today. And I am sure that tomorrow, gathering more history as I consult with the Secretary of State for Communications and for the Chief of News Media in the Ambazonian Restoration, in the Ambazonian ABC desk, with the CEO, manager of the Ambazonian Broadcasting Corporation, I will be able to put together and connect to history that is past. So I want you to tell Ambazonian people to tune in every day, Monday to Friday, 5 p.m., to listen to our history. And as I told you, I'm still gathering a number of historians. Unfortunately, the historian that was to be with me today, a seasoned servant of Ambazonia, who was actually with Foncha, mouth to mouth, and heard a number of things. He was to be with me, but unfortunately, we could not get him today. We will be trying, and as I said, if you are an Ambazonian and you have history to tell Ambazonians, that is very, very authentic, with no mixture, because we don't want the kind of lies that are propagated on social media with so many of these young activists who are supposed to be very vibrant and researching to bring out the truth, but they've decided to go the way of lies. We don't want to get some of those speculations in here. What we want to get is authentic history. So I will be searching, and if you know any person who can tell us more about our history, please recommend him. You know, you just listen to Pandangam. Anyway, I'll be bringing some analysis of what he said to add to what he said, because he is a senior historian and I am a junior historian, and I'm following after. All right, thank you very much, Ambazonians. Not to waste much time, I would like to leave you today and see you again tomorrow. God bless.